Hey you guys, so I just want to say thank you once again for everybody who's been supporting this channel this far. It's really meant a lot, and I just want everyone to know how greatly appreciated they are. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Hey guys, my name is Rashad Murphy with Money News Management. Today I want to talk to you about a few things that you need to know before you start investing. First, I want to say that investing isn't something that you just jump into. There's a level of understanding that's required if you actually want to be successful at it, whether you're buying stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, or just, trying to get yourself together with an IRA. When it comes to investing, this isn't something that you can do to get rich overnight. And no matter what you've heard, that's just not the case. No matter about the people that talk about how they got lucky in the stock market, it still took time. Yes, there are plenty of people that got rich out of the stock market because of luck. And that's simply just because of when they started to invest. But it still took time for those stocks to skyrocket before they could actually turn a profit. When it comes down to who can invest and how much money you need, I just want to reference a person named Warren Buffett. Now, Warren Buffett is the perfect example for when it comes to investors. Warren Buffett was not some trust fund baby. He didn't have millions of dollars growing up. This man started from nothing. This man started investing when he was 11 years old and didn't actually start to see a real profit until he was 20. Now, granted, that may sound like a weird timeline, but the point I'm trying to make here is that it took him 9 years to actually see a return on his investment that he could actually claim and be proud of. And all of the money that he used to start investing, he got from working at his family's grocery store. His family's grocery store, not their multi-million-dollar conglomerate business, a grocery store. And maybe one day I'll go deep into detail about Warren Buffett so you can understand that anyone can invest and anyone can turn a profit if you understand the market. But for now, we're going to stick with the tips and things that you generally need to understand when beginning to invest. And if for some reason you simply cannot wait to understand successful investment, then I suggest you look into a book called The Outliers. This book was written by a man named Malcolm Gladwell. Basically, the book creates a rule called 10,000 hours. Also, pro tip, research has shown that you're more likely to become a millionaire if you actually just click the like button on this video. But seriously, go ahead and click the like button to show your support for the channel. It's greatly appreciated, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because trust me, there's plenty of investment and stock tips coming that you really don't want to miss. And that's enough ranting about the millionaire mentality, because you clearly didn't come here to get a lesson on the psychology behind how to become a millionaire. You clicked this video because you wanted to know some tips about how to actually invest. So before we begin, let me explain to you what investing or what an investment actually is. Investing is such a large-scale concept with numerous avenues and components and different pieces and parts. And I promise you, I'm going to try to do my best to keep this video short and concise without actually skipping any of the important information. To explain what an investment is or what it means to invest, simply put, it's just purchasing an asset, or to put your money into a bank that helps you gain interest. Some people refer to it as long-term saving, but if you want to put it in less money terms, it really just means buying something to help you develop a profit over time. Which brings me to our first rule that every self-made millionaire will attest to, and they will back this 100%, which is pay yourself first. Because in the world of finance, there's a million and one things out there that you can learn about how to actually make money. And to be honest, trying to sit here and explain it all to you in one video would really be impossible. And to follow up on this tip, it brings you back to that rule that I spoke about of 10,000 hours by Marcus Gladwell, where he basically says for 10 years, all you need to do is dedicate 20 hours a week to a specific craft or task. And then you become what's referred to as a subject matter expert. And if you want to be successful, that is what you have to do. Now, if you stop and look at this in the ideas of athletics or anything that you've ever done in life, it makes sense. For all of my people out there who are either athletes, mathematicians, or anything that you were really good at, how much did you actually practice? Did you wake up one day and all of a sudden was the greatest dancer in the world? Or did you wake up one day and was the fastest track runner in the world? No, you had to practice. It was something that you did subconsciously. This was something that you wanted to be great at. There is no athlete in the NFL and the NBA, in whatever athletic program that you want that is professional, that did not practice. For all of my sports fans out there, especially since it's football season right now, we're going to use Tom Brady as an example. And please, don't jump down my throat because I decided to use him. I'm just using him because he's the GOAT. And with that being said, Tom Brady did not wake up one day and become the greatest quarterback in history. And I know there are other good quarterbacks out there, like Drew Brees. And even if you want to use Tom Brady or Drew Brees or Matt Ryan as an example, either way it goes, they did not get to where they were because they woke up one day and decided to sit down and watch Netflix. They got up, they went to practice, they worked on their craft. And when it comes to investing, and when it comes to investing in yourself, that's what you have to do. If you want to be successful at anything, all you have to do is invest in yourself. When it comes to anything that you want to do in life, all you have to do is dedicate time to it. And everyone knows this as an apparent fact, but not everyone thinks about it. If you want to be rich, your finances have to be your number one priority. You never want your growth to be accidental. Everything in life that you want to grow from, you want to know why you're growing, where you're going. And speaking of intentional growth, that actually brings us to our second investment tip, which is never invest in anything you don't understand. And I mean never. I don't care if someone tells you that this is the next big thing. If you don't know what they're talking about, do not invest in it. Always do your own research. There'll be plenty of people telling you what to invest in. There'll be plenty of people telling you something that they heard was a good idea or that they've seen a lot of people make money off of this. And it just might not be right for you because if you don't understand it, you're going to fail. For example, the man we spoke about earlier, Warren Buffett, he is yet to invest in anything technological because he says he does not understand it. This man is 80 years old. He's the equivalent of our grandparents who don't understand smartphones. And he is still $1 billion investor who is not yet invested in anything technological. Think about that. In an age of technology, he refuses to invest because he says he does not understand it. So if you won't listen to me, listen to the man who is the or one of the greatest investors in history.
I met Bill Gates on July 5th, 1991. We were out in Seattle, and Bill said, "You've got to have a computer." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "You can do your income tax on it." I said, "I don't have any income. Berkshire doesn't pay a dividend." He said, "Well, you can keep track of your portfolio." And I said, "I only have one stock." I said, and he says, "It's going to change everything." And I said, "Well, will it change whether people chew gum?" And he said, "Well, probably not." And I said, "Well, will it change what kind of gum they chew?" And not. I said, "Well, then I'll stick to chewing gum and you stick to computers."
If I were to tell you that I would give you $500 to invest in any company that you want, what company would you choose? Now that I've asked that question, I'm sure people's minds have jumped immediately to what's known as popular brands. Either it's Apple or cannabis stocks or freaking Bitcoin. Whether or not you actually understand how the stock market works, if anyone told you about investing, you automatically assume that you would invest in things that you like or things that you use. And that's simply just not how the stock market works. You can have every Apple product in the world and that won't make Apple a good investment. Now, I'm not saying Apple isn't a good investment because actually they're doing pretty good, but just saying that you want to invest in something because you use it a lot or you shop there a lot is not a good strategy when it comes to investing in the stock market. People actually have told me that they invested in things like Bitcoin because they heard that it's done so well. And without actually understanding why Bitcoin and how Bitcoin is done so well, then you're literally funneling your money into a money trap. And with me saying all this, I'm not telling you to go buy Apple and I'm not telling you to go buy Bitcoin. Most definitely do not buy Bitcoin. And the problem when it comes to investing in things that you don't understand and you listening to other people is because if it does not perform well, you choose to blame that other person for something that you didn't understand in the first place. And I know there's a lot of different components when it comes to investing. And as you keep up with this channel, because you're subscribed, then you'll find out different things that you didn't know before and different opportunities that are out there so that you can invest your money properly. And with all that being said, we're just going to go on to our third tip. And this tip to me is one of the most important ones. And this one simply is, do not use your emotions as a strategy. So basically the stock market is like a roller coaster with no loop-de-loops. The stock market constantly goes up and down, up and down. Might go up for a little while, just coasting, and then drop. And it comes right back up.
Oh my God, Rashad, no, I don't believe it. The stock market is gonna crash, we're gonna lose all our money, and people are gonna be broke, and we're gonna be mad at you for telling us to put our money in the stock market.
Whoa. This isn't my fault. First of all, the market's gonna come back because historically speaking, there has not been one stock market crash that has occurred that we have not bounced back from tenfold. And if you can find one, hey, name your price. I'll dish it out. challenge accepted. There's a very common quote that goes around in the world of finance, and it simply states that millionaires are built in a recession. When it comes to the volatility of the stock market, honestly, if you see your stocks going down or if you see them going up, your strategy should not change. And the strategy that everyone should adopt is simply do nothing. That good old one of set it and forget it. And the reason for this is simply because if you actually use your emotions to monitor when you should buy and sell stocks, you're going to get it wrong every single time. Honestly, if the stock market starts to plummet, you should actually buy more of the stocks that you're already invested in.
Oh my God, Rashad, why would I put more money into something that's about to go bankrupt? That doesn't even make sense. You're stupid. I'm about to unsubscribe. I'm about to click out of this video because you're an idiot.
Whoa, hold up. That was kind of harsh. In the stock market, if you actually keep investing, if you stay true to it, there will be a turnaround point where your money will go back up. Yes, there will be a time when the market crashes. It's inevitable. But at the same time, if you stay true to it, understand your strategy of if the market starts to plummet, buy more shares. When the market turns around, you will be one rich, never mind. The most recent stock market crash was in 2008. And a lot of us were around for this. Now, granted, maybe some of us were a lot younger, because I know I was, and we probably didn't understand what was going on. And for people who are a little bit older and got involved into the stock market then, oh, they're rich as rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got money. I'm talking, they got so much money, they're driving Bugattis into their 10-car garage because they only have 6 cars. We're going to use Amazon as an example. Amazon is the top grossing company in America right now. And if you were to actually take a look at Amazon's stock price, you'd be pretty amazed. Not many of us can afford to buy a share of that right now. But in 2008, when their share was only going for $69.88, I'll take that. And if you would have sat there on one share of Amazon for $69.88, almost 70 bucks, you'd be sitting on a share that's worth $1,821.71. And that's the impact of buying more shares when they're cheaper. I guarantee you, Amazon is here to stay. This is the perfect example of how a stock market crash is the perfect time for you to actually get involved into the stock market. Now, granted, you should get involved today and get prepared for something like this because you'll already own these shares. You'll know what companies you want to invest in and what companies you want to start investing in. But these large-scale conglomerate companies are not going out of business. Amazon, Apple, Coca-Cola, they're not going anywhere. And with all that being said, it really just brings me into our next tip of when you're investing, adopt the mentality of set it and forget it. And that's it. Because when it comes to investing, it's a long haul. No matter what you invest in, it's going to take you time to see a large scale profit. When it comes to things like interest, dividends, and simple actual growth for the account, you literally will see it happen over the course of a year, 5 years, 10 years, 40 years. And you will be amazed at what happens when you sit there and just continually funnel money into it and just watch as it grows. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there like,
No, I'm not doing that. I want to get rich now. I want to find a job that pays $100 an hour, and I only want to work a simple 4-hour shift a day, maybe like 4 days a week.
I don't, if you find something like that, please tell me, because you and me in the same boat. I love that. But when it comes to investing into the stock market, it really just takes patience. It takes an understanding and the desire to be rich down the line. Now, yes, you can invest into the stock market today and have thousands and thousands of dollars to spend in 10 years. But if you're trying to invest in the stock market today to do just that, you might be disappointed in your results, because the stock market is unpredictable. You cannot predict where the market is going.
I invested in Bitcoin, and I'm rich now, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, yes, a lot of people actually got rich off of investing in Bitcoin. Now I'm going to give you a brief synopsis on how that happened. Millionaires are made during a recession. Our last recession was in 2008. Bitcoin's price in July of 2010 was 10 cents a share. 10 cents a share. Now let's put this in perspective. If you were to have invested $1, meaning you would have owned 10 shares of Bitcoin, if you would have just forgot about the fact that you invested into Bitcoin all those years because it was just $1, and you would have checked your account today, you would be sitting on 10 shares that you only bought for $1, and each share is worth $10,571 each. Now, I'm no mathematician, but I'm pretty sure 10,000 times 10 shares is $100,000, something like that, right? Now imagine if you put $100 into this. I'm not gonna sit here and bore you with those numbers, a million. And considering that that was an 8-year example, it still ties into the whole set it and forget it. Now, granted, Bitcoin is not worth 10 cents per share, considering the example I just gave, but that's the concept. Millionaires are made in recessions. Be consistent. Invest when prices are low. Do not be afraid to put your money into anything, as long as you understand what you're investing in. No matter what that stock is worth, you need to forget about it. No matter what it's worth, create a target date, and that is it. Now you can wait a few days after and see, you see the markets going up. You can continue to wait, but do not become an impulsive seller. You will lose majority of your money, and you cannot get it back because you've already sold and you've already lost it. If you hold it, the moment that it breaks even, when it comes back around, you're good. Some of the people that got involved in the stock market recently have no idea what the stock market is really about. You realize that the behavior of it hasn't been acting the same. Rashad, yes? I got a question. What's up? What behavior? The behavior is that it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. But if you've been invested into the stock market since 2008, you will know nothing but a complete bull market. I'm talking yearly returns of 15%, 26%, and even as high as 32% a year in returns of whatever you're investing. And I mean, these numbers have gone up. The stock market in the last 10 years has not seen a negative year. And most people, the moment they see red, are going to freak out because they got involved in the stock market because it's profitable. They have no idea what they're doing. They're just buying stuff because every company is doing great. We have been in a bull market for 10 years. That is the longest run of a bull market in history. And I know I promised to keep this video short, so I'm gonna give you one more tip and then we're gonna close out. Okay, and this tip is simply be consistent. When it comes to the stock market, it does not matter how much money you're putting into the account. Be consistent. This is a strategy that works for everyone, and it's referred to as dollar cost averaging. What this means is no matter if the market is doing really good or really bad, you continually put the same amount of money in over the course of the year. And whether or not that amount fluctuates month to month, because I get it, things happen. Just be consistent. Put $100 in, put $10 in, put $100 in, put $50 in. Be consistent. Always keep pushing money into this account. If you bought really low one year and you bought really high one year, meets in the middle. And if you do this consistently, it will always average out. Now, the average return on the stock market historically has been about 8%. Now, these last 10 years is probably throwing off that algorithm, but on average, it's about 7 to 8%. You know me, I gotta give an example. So we're gonna use something real small scale. You take $100 and you invest this same $100 each month for 40 years at an 8% return. After 40 years, you'd have $324,000.
Rashad, that's not even that much. It's 40 years. I only got $324,000. What am I going to do with that?
Okay, but like I said, it's only $100. That's $100 a month. Now, that's not even the point of this example. This is the part that's going to shake you up. So if you've actually done the math here, you realize that you've only put $48,000 into this account. Rashad, yes? I got a question. Again, is that a problem? Okay, what's the question? Where the rest of the money came from? Well, it's interest. That's the beauty of investing. You've only deposited a principal amount of $48,000, which means you've gained $276,000 in interest simply just from consistently putting $100 in a month. And that's assuming you never actually increase the amount. We can go all day with how much you could make if you did $500 a month, $400 a month. At $200 a month, you'd be surprised at how close to $1 million you'd almost have. Okay, and that's all for today. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate the continued support. And if you're interested in learning more about investment, IRAs, mutual funds, stocks, and all things dealing with finance and financial literacy, the best way to do that is a subscription. And I know that was a lot to take in. So if you have any questions about investing or stocks or anything to get you started, feel free to drop the questions in the comments below. And I'll be sure to address any concerns that you may have when we return to help you manage your money.